Alright guys, this is BMW OSS, and this is just a gameplay from like last year when I was quite low level, so I'm sorry if you see some newbie shit in there. There's like some RCXDs, stuff like that, which I'm not proud of, but I recorded it anyway. It was saved to my theater. Yeah, long story short, it's kind of shit, but yeah, I just hope you enjoy, because I'm not going to talk about the gameplay. I'm talking about an issue that I've seen a lot of controversy over, which is, do video games make you violent? And I'm sure all of you have heard that whole thing about, oh, video games desensitize you and shit like that. Well, I'm just going to give my my 2 cents, I guess, on the issue. So, well, number one, video games. The video games we're talking about are shooters. Well, that's what I'm talking about anyway. You can get your Grand Theft Auto, that's a different issue. I'm talking about shooters, and I was always told by my dad that shooters made you violent because they desensitized you to shooting someone in the head or shooting someone in the body, because in war, it's a study that shows that only 20% of new soldiers actually shoot to kill on their first engagement, and so that often they'll shoot up higher in the air to try and miss the target, because it is a big sort of a clash of moral to shoot another human being. And apparently video games shooters desensitize you to that, which means you can do that. And in some ways this is true, because they can desensitize you, and the military does actually train soldiers using sort of video game stuff. I know this because my dad worked for the military, making simulations, and he made quite a few like games pretty much to desensitize soldiers into shooting. And so then hopefully when they are in an engagement, they can fire at the enemy, not around them. So that can do it. But all this stuff about that kids will become crazy and shoot up their school, there have been cases. Yes, there was a case. I haven't done my research, I'm sorry, but there was a case in America a couple of well, it was quite a while ago, where a school shooting, which is a tragic thing, but what happened, the media then claimed, because the child was, I think it was 2 children actually, were big Doom fans and Quake Wars fans, that, holy shit, the games made them kill their classmates. No, that's just ridiculous. That is stupid. The game did not turn them into psycho killers. They were already mentally unstable, which meant they were attracted to the game. So because they were mentally unstable, they wanted to play the game. So the game didn't turn them into psycho killers. They pretty much just were attracted to the game because they were psycho killers. So that whole thing about video games make you well, first-person shooters make you want to kill your classmates and bullshit like that. That was just really sort of like negligent of the media to say that. I honestly think that video games, I mean, well, if you look at the average guy who plays too much first-person shooters, he does not become violent. He actually becomes like non-violent, because he's such a, he's been cooped up inside for too long, hasn't been out in the open world for very much at all. So like, I don't like to use the term nerd, but the kids at my school who play first-person shooters way too much are the nicest kids you will find. They don't put other kids down. They're just content with within their group of friends, and I mean, that's fine. They're not killing anyone. They play more first-person shooters than anyone else. They're not shooting people in the head. They're not plotting to kill their classmates, or they're not trying to get hold of weapons to go on a shooting spree, and all this stuff about, oh, they make you violent. I really don't. I really don't agree with it. They can desensitize you, I suppose, to firing at a human being, but firing at a human being, well, firing at a video game character in a video game is a lot different than firing at a human, because in a video game, you're firing at someone in... What you're firing at something you know isn't real. You know it's not real, and you know it's a game. Whenever I shoot someone in Black Ops or whatever in Killzone, I don't think, oh yeah, and I hope your children, well, to that character, I hope your children cry over your death, and I hope your wife is sad, and, you know, creepy shit like that. No, it's a game, alright? They'll respawn. In real life, there's a enormous sort of moral, sort of conflict of morals, and it'd be a lot harder. The other thing is, in games, and this does exclude a few, but in most games, the people you are killing are sort of detached from the average human being, sort of, you know, they don't look like human beings, you know. Alright, let me see if I can explain this. If you play Killzone 3 or Black Ops, everyone you're shooting at is wearing sort of military gear. They've got face paint, they've got helmets, especially in Killzone 3, Helghast have their enormous suits and stuff. So it doesn't feel like you're shooting a sort of, I suppose, you're not shooting a civilian. Now, in some games you do shoot civilians, and I can see why that would be a bit of a problem, but most games try and sort of mask the human side of what you are killing. So they've got a gun, you've got a gun, you're both in sort of costumes, I suppose, and so that is made to in many ways that is to try and sort of turn them into something else, so they're not actually a human being that you are shooting, that you are firing upon. Now, as I've said all this, it does not mean I think that video games are like suitable for 6-year-olds and stuff, and we all know that they play them. I am 15 years old, and before anyone in America says, oh, this game is M for mature, in Australia, we have ratings G, which is like anyone can play it, PG, which means recommended sort of for kids over 8, and it's got some stupid thing which is kids under 15 need parental guidance, but I mean, Simpsons is PG. I don't, you know, when I was 10, I didn't have parental guidance watching The Simpsons, so it's a bit fucked up there. But then we've also got M, which is mature, 15 years. It's recommended 15 years and older. So if you're under 15 years, you can still buy it. Now, Black Ops and stuff is MA, which is mature audience restricted, so you have to be 15 or older to play them. That is actually our highest video game rating. We don't actually have an 18 plus rating, which means we don't get some games. But so there is a difference between what is suitable for like a little kid, and then what makes people violent. It's not kids. A little kid playing a shooter. Black Ops is actually, I think, pretty timid. I mean, there's not enormous fountains of blood. But if you think of sort of Gears of War, once again, Killzone 3, those games which really sort of glorify the killing, you can imagine a little kid, it might not be suitable, not because it's going to turn him into a psycho killer, but because as a little kid you probably shouldn't be exposed to violence, and it might be a bit confronting, and yeah, they might sort of, you know, act up a bit. But I think once you've reached the age on the game console, sort of, you know, on the restriction, where in whichever country, you are mature enough to understand that what you are playing is I suppose, not real, and you don't need to go kill people over it. So I think all this big blow up of video games are going to make you a psycho killer is just complete bullshit. So thanks, this has been BMW OSS. Subscribe, rate, comment, whatever, and you can also get me on Twitter. See ya.